Welcome to today's Contractors panel session. My name is Maria Quiros, and I'm the intern manager for the Small Business Development Department. With me today is Christine Pham, who will be facilitating the Q&A chat box. The Q&A box, and Alex Aguirre, our team member from Caltrans. I will be your host for today's event. And now we want to share a word from our President, CEO, Kim Becker.
Chat. I did.
Give us a few minutes. Stand by.
Hello, I'm Kim Becker, President and CEO of the San Diego County Regional Airport Authority. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 Meet the Primes presentation. This is the second year our small business development team has hosted Meet the Primes virtually, and we're looking forward to bringing you our program today. While we can't meet in person right now, we learned from our first virtual event that the matchmaking portion is very valuable to both attendees and our prime contractors. In addition to providing you with information on applying for certifications, we will connect attendees and prime contractors virtually during our matchmaking session. You will hear directly from 11 prime construction contractors about upcoming subcontracting opportunities, bid timelines, certifications, and have a chance to directly ask questions. We hope that through these connections, local, small, underrepresented, and veteran-owned businesses will gain valuable information and contacts that will help them compete successfully for jobs at the airport. Particularly during this time of economic uncertainty, we recognize the challenges small businesses have endured during the pandemic. Our airport is about to embark on the $3 billion redevelopment of Terminal 1, which will be the largest and most expensive capital improvement project in our airport's history. This project will not only improve our facilities and enhance our customer experience, but it will also provide critically needed jobs for our region's workers. Small and local businesses have historically contributed significantly to the development of our airport today. In the past decade, we've completed the Terminal 2 parking plaza and the new International Arrivals facility. We've expanded Terminal 2 West, built a new rental car center, and most recently finished our critically needed behind-the-scenes airport support facilities. These projects would not have been possible without small and local businesses. Collectively, these projects total more than $1.5 billion and include roughly $870 million in construction contracts specifically with local businesses and $298 million with small businesses. By providing unique opportunities for small and local businesses, the Airport Authority continues to generate millions of dollars for San Diego's regional economy. We are part of our region's infrastructure and play a critical role in recovery from the pandemic. Providing jobs is one of the ways we're helping with recovery. I mentioned that you will have the chance to talk directly with prime contractors working here at the airport. Among this group will be our Arrive team, who will talk specifically about subcontractor contract opportunities with the development of the new Terminal 1. We hope you will enjoy Meet the Primes today and take away needed information to successfully compete for a range of jobs and opportunities at San Diego International Airport. We look forward to having you climb aboard and join us in our efforts to innovate and enhance the airport customer experience for decades to come. Thank you for joining us.
Great. I hope everybody has enjoyed the video from our CEO and president. I'm trying to get you on, there we go. Give me 1 minute. Here we go. So in today's contractor panel session, you will hear from 5 panelists that we have. Sitting in the panel with us tonight, we have Warren Sprague from AECON, Dan McQuiggan and Vera Hell from the Arrive team, also known as the Turner Construction, Michael Hodeling from C&S Companies, Elizabeth Martinez and Joe Cole, and Sam Perezi from Neil Electric, and Timothy Fenlinson from the Jones Paint Group. With that said, we're going to go ahead and start our panel discussion. So, Warren, you are my first panelist.
Okay. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening. And would you please like to share with us who is AECON?
AECOM is a worldwide infrastructure consulting firm. It's a very broad term, but we work across all span of all infrastructure types: transportation, building, water, governments, energy, and environment. I'm in our aviation group, and specifically our services that we're providing at San Diego are related to the aviation service and segment of our business.
Great. What has been your role at the airport with us?
San Diego has been our San Diego AECOM has been involved at San Diego International Airport since about 2006, providing program, project, and construction management services, supporting the delivery of the airport's various capital improvement projects and programs. Currently, we're currently supporting, again, the entire airport design and construction group. It's their capital improvement and tenant improvement programs.
Great. Thank you. What sand projects is your firm involved with?
Well, we're supporting the airport design and construction group, which is the department that delivers capital projects and tenant improvement projects on the airport side, from the airport side. So we're involved in assisting the department across the entire spectrum of capital improvement projects, as well as the tenant. The centerpiece of that I assume most people know are the Terminal 1 replacement program, which is Dan will get into later with Arrive in more detail, but involves a whole range of a new terminal, a whole host of new airside work, new roadways, a new parking garage, and a replacement for the administration building. And then there's probably a dozen or more small to medium-sized capital improvement projects and tenant improvement projects we're also assisting the airport with.
Okay, and what is the status on some of these projects? I know you mentioned you're, I think, working with the Arrive team as well, but
Yeah.
do you have any other projects?
Well, on the Arrive team, I'm sure we'll give much more detail on this, but in general, the overall ADP program, our Terminal 1 replacement program, there's 3 contract packages in there. Arrive has the terminal landside package. That is, well, I'll leave that to Dan to get into more detail on that. There is an airside package that's been, the design is complete on it, and the airport is currently reviewing bid packages for construction on the airside work. And the contract package for the new administration building has been let. And that's currently moving into a design phase. So there will be a lot of activity you're going to be seeing over the next 6 months. You're going to see a ramp up of a lot of activity at the airport in the Terminal 1 area. Other areas are just a whole host of small to medium size capital projects that are approved each year. So it's a rolling process each year. Their year being July through June, a new slate of projects that are out there. And again, we're providing our program project and construction management support services with all of those.
Thank you, Warren. And what opportunities may be coming up for sub-consultings?
We have our scope of services, broadly stated, is program, project, and construction management. We have a whole host of, of services that may be used under this contract. It's primarily in the area of staff augmentation. We do work in an integrated environment with airport staff in the Airport Design and Construction Group. It includes project management, administration, construction management, construction inspection, oversight of architectural and engineering design services, project definition, scopes and budgets, cost estimating, project lifecycle planning, scheduling, project reporting, project control, BIM and CAD management services, safety program administration, tenant project reviews, and labor compliance. So not all of those are currently being used, but there will be upcoming opportunities in a range of those over the next multiple years, but in the next year or so, there will be a significant ramp up of opportunities. So.
Thank you. And it sounds like there's going to be a lot of opportunities out there, so please pay attention. Thank you, Warren. Christine, is there any Q&A?
There are no questions at this time.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So next we have Dan and Vera. Good evening to both, and please introduce yourself.
You first, Vera. Oh, you've got to go off mute though.
Okay, sorry about that. Good evening, everybody. What an honor and pleasure it is to be here with all of you. I've been with Turner as a community and citizenship director for 20 plus years. I met Dan on the first day when I started with Turner, and I've got to say I miss setting up a table at Meet the Primes and getting to shake everybody's hand and see all of you. But I'm so glad you attended our Hollywood Squares night, and I'll introduce you to Mr. Hollywood himself. Dan, take it away.
Wow. Well, thank you, Vera. It's just really exciting to be here and be able to talk about this wonderful project that we're going to be working on together. And as Vera mentioned, we go way back, so we're going to tag team you tonight. And hopefully we'll be seeing more of a lot of the folks that are on this call in the coming 6 years as we build out basically the final piece of an amazing airport that we all love and want to continue to work for.
Thank you both. So how long have you guys been with Turner, and what are some of your favorite projects and why?
Well, Dan, may I take it away?
You're first.
Okay, perfect. I've got to say, I walked onto a Turner job 23 years ago when I was needing a job. And when I went to a temp agency, I said, I need a job for 3 months. And then I'm headed off to the Holy Land with my mother. And they said, well, Turner Construction sure could use somebody for a day. And I dragged my heels and went to Turner Construction, which turned out to be the San Diego Convention expansion project. And as I was shown a desk and some filing that needed to be done, my desk was shaking and the rebar was going in. And that guy next to me, the pile driver, and the guy next to me was this guy, Dan McGukin, and he had a fish tank and he had a fish and project manager. And then I went to a couple of meetings that day and I thought, this is kind of a neat place. There's a lot of action, and it's just the people are pretty outstanding. And the manager asked me to stay another month and so forth, and 3 months turned into 23 years. It is my first love with Turner. It was my first job. When I go by the expansion center, besides Comic-Con time, I love looking at the building. And of course, my second favorite job, because it was second, was the green build when Turner was involved in a JV. And our JV partners were PCL, Flatiron, amazing, amazing team. And again, the energy was so high, and I got to meet Maria Quiros and Christine Pham, and the family just got bigger and bigger, and same DNA. Get into that a little bit later. So yeah, those were my first two biggest favorite jobs. Thanks, Dan.
Oh, that's a tough act to follow. Vera, you've really done so much for the community and for Turner and for the airport over the years. It's just been a pleasure since day one. I have been with Turner Construction now for 36 years, which is surprising because I'm only 35 years old, but it's been a great run. The three projects that I want to mention just very quickly. The first was when I was quite a bit younger. We remodeled the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland. And it was just a great experience working in a place where it really is the happiest place in the world. And it's just fun having that, it's infectious, the feeling that you get there from all the folks that are out in the park and enjoying themselves. The only problem with that job was they left the soundtrack on for months while we were doing an incredible remodel on the inside of the ride. And so Yo Ho Ho, The Pirate's Life for me is a song I never want to hear again. The two other projects that I did want to mention have already been mentioned. The San Diego Convention Center expansion was just an amazing program. It brought me back to San Diego. I met Vera. We had a great team, and I'm just really proud of the finished product. And that's one of the great things about our business is that you get to build things that hopefully you can take your kids and your grandkids and your friends and show them what you did. And I think the San Diego Convention Center is a good example of that. And then the green build is another example of that. It was a beautiful project, great team, a great client, and we did everything right there. It's the first project, the first airport ever to get LEED Platinum. We came in under budget, on schedule, and just a great experience. And so we're looking to raise the bar even higher on the Terminal 1 replacement. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute.
Thank you both. So let's move on. What is the scope of the new Terminal 1 replacement project? Dan?
So glad you asked that. And you know what, instead of just rambling on about how wonderful the project is, we have a video that we want to show, and it's based on the 30% design development drawings that we've done so far with the program. So there's still a lot of detail, and there's a lot of key design decisions and information that still need to be worked out. But we do have a video, and it's a good start. So I'm going to share my screen, I hope, and we're going to show it real quick.
Take it away.
All right.
San Diego International Airport's new Terminal 1 is one of the most exciting projects in the airport's history, and it's been designed to deliver a sense of the sunny sky.
Can everyone see that?
No,
No.
Oh,
With a bird's eye
okay.
view
We're
of the new
starting late.
T1.
Hold on.
From San Diego International Airport's new Terminal 1 is one of the most exciting projects in the airport's history, and it's been designed to deliver a sense of the sunny skies, majestic coastline, and vibrant culture of the place we call home. We'll start our tour here with a bird's eye view of the new T1. From end to end, the new T1 is nearly a half a mile long, giving you plenty of space to walk around, enjoy a meal, or just relax before your flight. This new state-of-the-art terminal will bring an additional 11 gates to SAN, for a total of 62 gates. The new Terminal 1 will reflect the airport's commitment to a sustainable future through energy and water conservation and clean air initiatives. Our goal is LEED Gold. We're also building an underground hydrant fueling delivery system that will serve aircraft parked at the gates. This will reduce the need for trucks to deliver fuel to aircraft, resulting in less emissions and quicker turnarounds at the gates. Each gate will be outfitted with EV chargers for airline ground support equipment and will allow parked aircraft to plug in and utilize the airport's 100% carbon-free electricity. Additionally, there's a plan to expand stormwater systems that provide the ability to capture and reuse more than 39 million gallons of rain each year and help lower the region's demand for imported water. A series of airfield improvements, including new redesigned taxiways and additional aircraft parking spots, will help reduce aircraft taxiing times. You'll see some exciting features in the new T1, including an outdoor patio and concessions deck to take in a sunset before you depart. And we've set aside space between the terminals for a transit station to make public transit to the airport even easier and more convenient. Getting to and from the airport is a big part of your experience. So the new T1 will improve transportation and mobility with future plans that include a fixed rail connection that we're working on with Sandag. We've also included a new multi-use path for pedestrians and bicyclists to safely access the airport. The airport is also launching an all-electric shuttle fleet that will carry transit riders from the Old Town Transit Center to the airport and back. We've made moving between the terminals really easy, giving you the freedom to experience everything SAN has to offer. The new TSA checkpoint has been streamlined to make getting through security as stress-free as possible. The vision for the new T1 was more than just a place you pass through. We've designed it so you can experience that sunny San Diego spirit every step of the way. The new concessions areas will be more open and airy than ever before, with spectacular views of the airfield. In the concourse area, you'll have plenty of new options for shopping and dining, with concessions all throughout the terminal so you're able to grab a bite or pick up a magazine and still be within sight of your gate. If there's one thing we want every passenger to experience, it's an enjoyable journey through our airport. We're not just building a new terminal. We're building a brand new gateway to San Diego and to hundreds of exciting destinations around the world. As America's most convenient airport, we're here to help you easily and safely connect to what matters most, no matter where your journey takes you. We believe that everyone who comes to our airport deserves an authentic San Diego experience, and that's why we're building a new terminal that reflects the warmth and friendliness of the city we all call home. Welcome to your new gateway to the world. Welcome to your new Terminal 1.
Thank you, Dan, for sharing that. That was great. How exciting is that?
Absolutely.
It makes 6 years go by pretty fast, that's for sure.
It will, right? Okay. Hope everybody enjoyed that as I did. Even though I work at the airport, I had never seen all that. So it's great. Thank you.
Hot off the presses, and you know, when we get to 60% design, there will be much more detail, and I'm sure we'll be doing another fly through that will, you know, it's going to keep improving at this point. So
Right.
very exciting.
Yes. What are the key things that we should know about the project for labor agreements for the new Terminal 1 replacement?
Thanks, Maria. I'll start. I don't know if you want to add anything I missed, but this is the first time the airport's ever had a PLA as part of a major program. And it's a trend. I think everyone in the county needs to understand that PLAs are going to be more and more prevalent for large work in this region. And so this is a good place to start. We worked very hard with the building trades. We negotiated over 3 months to put the PLA together, and it was a constructive negotiation. But one of our main goals was to make sure we carved out opportunities for small business, veteran-owned business, and local business, and that's something that we're measured on as well. But it's something that, of course, we feel very connected to, and it's a very important goal for us all the way through the program. A couple of things that you need to know: if you are a local business or a veteran-owned business or a small business as defined by the airport, even if you sign the PLA, you are still allowed to have up to 5 of your own core workers working on the project, and they're going to come on the project staggered with union craft workers as well. So it would start with one of your core workers, then go to someone from the hall, and then back to another core worker, et cetera. And so that's something that's very positive. For everyone else, if you're not local or a smaller veteran-owned business, you can have 3 core workers. So you can still have some of your primary management, even if you're not a union company. And then another important attribute is that if you are a small business or a veteran-owned business, you can opt out of the union benefits entirely. So you're not having to even think about, you know, having to pay into a union pension plan or any other union benefit. and still maintain your own program for your core workers. If you are, if you don't fit those categories of a veteran-owned or a small business, you still have the option of, if you can prove that your benefit program is equal to or better than the comparable union benefits, then you can maintain your own benefits. Otherwise, there will be an expectation that you sign up to the union benefits for the duration of the project. We are going to be focused on making sure that we get strong local participation, strong SBE participation, veteran-owned small business. This is a project that is going to generate so much money for the local community, and it needs to stay in the local community. So that's what our primary focus is. If you haven't been involved in a PLA before, but you want to grow your company, this may be a good opportunity. We're going to be working closely with both union and non-union companies to make sure that that there's an equal footing and an equal chance for all to participate. And again, I can just tell you that going forward, PLAs are going to become more and more prevalent, I believe, in San Diego County. So this might be a good time to test the waters. We've got a 6.5-year project here. So you're going to get an opportunity here to really learn what PLAs are all about in both the airport, AECOM, whom we're working very closely with, and the Turner Flatiron joint venture, which is Arrive, are all focused on making sure that everyone in the local community has a chance to participate. I think those are my main points. Vera, did you have anything to add to that?
I would just add, we are very fortunate that one of the requirements of the PLA program was to bring in a PLA coordinator. And that coordinator will help coordinate the unions with the subcontracting world. So we're looking forward to this project and to the opportunities, and especially having that PLA coordinator helping us orchestrate. Thanks, Dan.
Great.
Thank you both. And you're right, PLA was not something that San Diego is used to, but like you said, I think it's going to become more common. So hopefully people start jumping on and learning about it and in testing the water with us and not being afraid, since we have such a great group of team that you guys have on board to help them with this process. Now I want to ask, and I'm going to combine these two questions with, I'm going to combine them both, Vera. What certifications are the airport looking for, and what do people have to do to get involved in Terminal 1?
Sure, thank you, Maria. I'm just going to say Dan answered my question for me. If you were taking notes, you probably heard Dan mention 3 certifications specifically that are under the airport's policy 5.12. If you ever can't sleep, go ahead and read the airport policy 5.12, and you will learn about the local business enterprise certification. The airport has always been an economic engine of San Diego, and they have created, let me say that again, they've created their very own LBE certification. That was not in place in past airport projects that I was on. In past airport projects, if you showed me a document that said, yes, we have an office in San Diego County, and yes, we've had it for 6 months prior to the award, we were all good with that. The airport authority said we'd prefer certification. So if everybody's taking notes, if you go to san.org and you go to the bottom of that page, you will find small business development and then the link to LBE. Gosh, I would hope that 80% of you with us this evening are local business enterprise. And you can just go on there. The airport authority, Maria and Christine are fantastic, exclamation point. They can get you the LBE certification, I'm going to say within a week. And that's pretty darn fast. That also should tell you it's an easy affidavit to fill out. And so when you come to the Arrive team and we ask you, are you by chance an LBE? You won't look at us funny and you'll say, of course, I'm a local business and have been at least 6 months. So that's a good thing. That's certification number 1. Certification number 2 is SBE. So that's Small Business Enterprise. I'm going to differentiate SBE with Turner Construction. Turner Construction is looking for certifications that are basically underutilized businesses. Turner will look for women-owned companies, minority-owned companies, veteran companies, and so forth, LGBT companies. So those are all the underutilized businesses that Turner tracks. The airport authority tracks the SBE, the Small Business Enterprise, and certainly that can be an underutilized group, but certainly the small businesses are the backbone of the economy. I think we all know that. I would say to the small businesses, buck up, go in and get that certificate, and hopefully you will get my email contact information, because we can go through the DGSs. How do I get that small business enterprise certification? Again, DGS, I've talked to some amazing people there that can get you certified within a day. So again, you come to the Arrive team and you have, gosh, I'm an SBE and I'm an LBE, which I got last week. But anyway, that's beside the point. It was very easy. So we certainly can guide you through those certifications. And again, the airport authority with the small business focus wants to include veterans. So veteran-owned small business and the service disabled veteran-owned small business. We are hoping, I'll let the cat out of the bag, we are hoping that we can expand those small business veterans into all veteran companies. Turner tracks all veteran companies, and it's my wish and my hope that someday the airport authority will go there. But certainly for now, if you are a veteran-owned small business or a service-disabled veteran small business, you're definitely counted in their certifications. So I've got to tell you this great, big, amazing website called Vera Howell. It's called ArriveSDAA.com. And of course, if you write to me, I can remind you about this project's website, ArriveSDAA.com. And if you're a small business and said, gosh, I wish I could let the Arrive team know I exist, we're probably not going to address 1,000 emails. But on the website, we have a place that you register. And it's really an easy form. It's like 10 questions that you answer, and it goes into a spreadsheet. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Our procurement, we have 5 procurement agents, of course, on the T1 project, 5 of them. Just still, there's so much about T1 that just kind of blows your mind. And of all the bid packages that are out there, of course, those 5 are charged with procurement. And if they can look at that spreadsheet and you've taken your time to tell us who you are, that would be a big plus for you. So I hope you take the time and register. That brings me into part B of the question. So how do I get involved with Arrive? Well, I've just hinted at our website. And when you click on that website, you'll see 4 categories. And category number 3 is opportunities. Just go there, click on opportunities. The other 3, like number 1, what is Arrive? And it will talk about our team. And there's also what is the project? kind of important that you know something about the project. You can click on that and see some wonderful information there. And the fourth one is contact us. Boy, you can go in there and tell us your name and your email and give us a question if you want. I'd prefer you write to me, but you can also contact us. So those are the other three. But I would like you to go into opportunities, the third one, and register. Once you register, then you can go and log in and you'll see the fly-throughs. You'll see, oh gosh, if I want to work on a RIDE project, I have to pre-qualify. Of course, we are risk managers right now for the airport authority, where we have to go through a pre-qualification with all of you in order to make sure you're appropriate to bid the project. We wouldn't want to hurt your business if we bring you onto a project that you're not prepared for and all of that. So the pre-qualification form is there on the website as well. The PLA is there on the website, everything you would like. Any night that you can't sleep, and for me, that's every other night, please go onto the Arrive website and read all of it. I think sometimes we forget. I've been in the business a long time, and I have had a lot of subcontractors come to me and say, this is what I do. And I think the step that they're missing is to go and look at the project and say, you know, this is really special about your project. And I think I'd like to introduce you to what I do. And I think it could help you in this manner. So you kind of want to talk about a win-win down the road when you have conversations with procurement and so forth about how you could help on the project. You know, if, I don't know, if you, I can't even think of a trade that wouldn't be appropriate at this moment. But if, you know, you come and say, I do great, I'm just going to say cooking, but probably we can use that too. But if you were to say, you know, I do cooking and I want to be part of the Arrive team, Dan would say, well, maybe we can have a contract for somebody to come cook for the team. But I'm just saying, figure out a way when you have a conversation with a GC, any GC, of how your product could maybe help their work. Sorry for the overkill. Have a great evening. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you both, Dan and Vera. And Christine, do we have any questions?
We do have quite a few questions. We won't be able to go through all of them with the interest of time having other panel members, but I can go over a couple of them. We have a question on whether or not the Arrive team produces these videos in-house. They're very enamored by the video that you shared with us, Dan.
You're on mute, Dan.
Is that better?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Great question, Christine. I wish I could say that we were the actual producers. Our design partner in the Arrive Alliance is Gensler, one of the largest design firms in the country. And they put together this video from their own model. So this is the actual model that we're designing to. And as I mentioned, it's going to continue to evolve and grow more detailed. So the next time we get on this call in 3 or 4 months, we'll have a better version of it. But it was done by our design partner. And then the airport authority did the overdub of the narration. And so it's definitely a group effort between the airport authority and the Arrive Alliance.
Thank you, Dan, for that. We have one individual that wants to know about that she heard 6 years correct on the project. Is that full operation or will there be based areas of opening?
Another great question. It's very important. This new terminal is more than a half mile long. It's almost 3,000 feet long. And we're starting with the replacement gates for the existing Terminal 1. And we will be running from the east side past farther east than the existing administration building all the way up to the existing Terminal 1, and we will build out actually 22 gates in that space. And once they're built out, completely operational, the airlines in the existing Terminal 1 will relocate into the new 22 gates, the first phase of the new Terminal 1. And once that's done, we will demolish the existing terminal and build out an additional 8 gates for a total of 30 gates. So it is a phased project. The first phase, it's called Phase 1A, clever name. Phase 1A runs through 2025, early third quarter of 2025. And then the second phase to build out those final 8 gates after the existing Terminal 1 is demolished runs out to the third or fourth quarter of 2027. So it is a long project. And so, that's just going to generate so many opportunities for the local community for the next 6.5 years.
Excellent, Dan. This is very exciting. Thank you for sharing on the timeline of that. And thank you both for such an amazing presentation of the new T1 and introducing yourselves and all the opportunities. We will now be moving on to the next panelist. We'll now go back to Maria. Back to Maria.
Thank you. Next, we have Michael from CNS Companies. Michael, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Maria. I'm Michael Hotelling. I'm Senior Vice President and Aviation Practice Leader with CNS Companies, and I've spent my entire 31-year career at CNS.
Great, thank you for being with us tonight. And tell us about CNS. How did the beginnings in San Diego?
We got started in San Diego. We were selected back in 1998 for what was then known as the Residential Sound Attenuation Program, now known as the Quieter Home Program. So we got that program started. I moved here with my family in 2000, the first CNS teammate on the West Coast, and opened office spaces in Mission Valley after spending about 6 months working out of office space that the Airport Authority permitted us to use. And now we have about 60 people in 5 offices in California, Arizona, and Washington from that start back in 2000.
Great, thank you, Michael. And CNS provides a number of services for the airport. Can you briefly describe some of the recent work?
Of course, Maria. We recently were reselected for the on-call engineering contract, which is a multi-year undefined quantity and project contract. So we're proud to continue to do that work for the Airport Authority on a variety of projects. We played a significant role in the team with Jacobs to design the airside piece. And when Dan showed you the video, it talked about the aircraft parking aprons and the taxiway infrastructure that's enabling the T1 development. We're part of the Jacobs team in delivering the design for that airfield project. We worked together with SUNT to deliver the airport support facilities project that is recently completed. We also played an integral role in the receiving and distribution center, which is on the north side of the airport adjacent to the aircraft control tower. It's the concessions warehouse for the airport. And it was the first ever public-private partnership project that the Airport Authority undertook, and it was a very successful outcome of that. We're also the on-call environmental and sustainability consultant for the Airport Authority to help them implement the sustainability vision that the board has set for the airport. A variety of different projects we've worked on in that regard. Volunteer airport low emission applications for infrastructure at the airport, as well as vehicle electrification and other sustainability projects under that contract.
Great, a lot of projects with us. What are some of the values that sustain CNS as a business?
There's four key values that really drive us as an organization and are who we are and how we make decisions in the work that we do, people we hire, and the firms that we like to team with. They are integrity, authenticity, team spirit, and an all-in attitude in our work that we do. Our culture is really rooted in the statement of our people form the foundation for outstanding service to our clients and communities. And we're really proud. Just about 3 weeks ago, we were recognized for the 5th year in a row of being a best place to work in San Diego. And 4 out of those 5 years, we were recognized as the #1 large company in San Diego as a best place to work by the San Diego Business Journal.
Congratulations on that. Thank you. Having been in the San Diego community for over 20 years, can you explain your approach to community engagement and supplier diversity?
Of course. We're really proud, not just in San Diego, but everywhere where we have presence and do work, to be engaged in philanthropic efforts. For example, in San Diego, over the past dozen years, we've donated $15,000 to Feeding San Diego. So we're really proud of that. We also have a corporate foundation that every year contributes $100,000 in a variety of different philanthropic efforts around the country, and does matching for our team, that if they get engaged in a charity activity, or we can do matching donations with them as well as part of that. We're very involved in STEM activities and working in schools and other entities to try to attract the next generation to the engineering, architecture, and construction business that we're so deeply involved with, so that we have the next generation inspire young folks to be involved in the business as well. We're really proud of our work. A great deal of our work is federally funded, so the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, or the DBE program, applies to a lot of the work that we do. So we're really proud of our work there, the firms that we work with, and particularly proud of firms that have actually graduated from that program, that they've been successful and graduated out of the DBE category, include firms right here in San Diego as part of that work that we've been doing. And we know it's critical to our efforts, and we have a full-time person that's engaged in our supplier diversity activities, which for a firm of 550 people is relatively unique. And our aviation practice of about 115 people, that's a full-time position to help us with supplier diversity and engage suppliers to work together with us on programs like this.
Thank you for all that great information. So what else does C&S do?
And as I described earlier, we're an engineering, architecture, and construction planning and other activities business. Some of the programs we get involved with we have a general contractor, California Class B license. So we actually do general contracting in San Diego on a variety of different projects, including a recently completed project at Montgomery Field, the Coast Air fixed base operator facility there. We're involved in residential and non-residential sound installation programs around the country. I mentioned earlier that was our start here in San Diego. We're involved in commercial and industrial land development, as well as architectural, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and facilities work.
And how should diverse firms contact C&S company and explore the opportunity to work with you?
Thanks, Maria. They can contact me. My email is right there on the slide that's up on the screen. So if they email me, I will also, once we transition here, I'll put the emails of 3 other leaders within our practice here in San Diego that folks could reach out to. So I'll include all those emails in the chat window if that's okay with you.
Yes, that would be perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Michael, for joining us tonight. Christine, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do have a couple of questions here. One of the questions asks, will you need more subcontractors after infrastructure bill passes? If so, do you have systems in place to qualify or support qualifying businesses?
The answer to the first part of the question is yes. If the infrastructure bill passes, there will be a substantial amount of work throughout the industry with $25 billion dedicated to airports. So we expect more opportunities for subcontractors to work with us. The emails that I'll put in the chat window shortly, contact us through any of those channels, and we can connect you with our supplier diversity leader, and that'll be the best way to connect with us and find about additional opportunities.
Thank you, Michael. We have another question in regards to what is C&S's records in terms of percentage spent on projects and allocating actual work to SBEs, WBEs, DBEs, MBEs, etc.?
We're very proud of our success in that regard. It varies project by project and to airport that we work at. But we have a track record of exceeding the goals that are set for these programs. For example, in our work in San Diego, we're typically in the 20 to 25% range of our work is allocated to firms like that. A number of other locations where we're able to see that even further based on the availability of suppliers to work together with us on programs like this.
Thank you, Michael. And for your company, what is the name of your small business liaison or representative on projects for your company?
Her name is Kai Marion, and I will include her email address when I put that in the chat window as well. So it's Kai, K-A-I, and Marion, M-A-R-I-O-N.
Perfect. That will be very helpful. An individual would like to know what's the CNS position they're looking to fill. Oh, I apologize. That has been answered.
Sure.
Okay. That concludes all the questions for you, Michael. Back to you, Maria.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. And so now we have Neil Electric with us. And Neil is also a firm that has worked at the airport. So please, Sam, can you introduce yourself and introduce your team, or if Elizabeth wants to introduce, either way.
I'll go ahead and start. Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting us to the Meet the Primes. Again, my name is Sam Passanese. I'm the president of Neil Electric. On our team tonight is Elizabeth Martinez and Joe Cole, and they'll be answering a couple of the questions. I'd like to divert just a little bit and give my kudos to Turner and the Arrive team. I think Dan, Vera, you've got a great design, and I think it's going to be a great project for San Diego for the next 6 years and years to come. So I send you my kudos. It's very nice. A little bit about Neil. Neil's been in business and has been a staple in the San Diego community for over 37 years, performing electrical contracting work. And we've transitioned in over the years doing various types of electrical work. We initially started in the military and the biotech areas. And then about 22 years ago, we started performing work at the San Diego airport, and we have never left. We've always had a job going on at the San Diego airport. And I just want to say that we appreciate all the work we've received and gotten from the San Diego airport and with the contractors that we've worked with. It's been great to work with for the airport. We're a diverse company. We have a commercial division, an industrial division, a Title 24 compliance, infrared scanning and testing, and a complete design BIM department. We offer 24-hour, 7-day-a-week on-call service department and specialize in the design build arena. As our San Diego community has changed, we've changed with the industry to accommodate our clients in anything they've asked us to do, and built a lot of different types of projects here in San Diego. So we're proud to be part of the team here, and look forward to doing more work down at the San Diego airport.
Thank you, Sam. Elizabeth, would you like to introduce yourself, and then also Joe? And you can turn on your cameras.
Yes, of course. My name is Elizabeth Martinez, and I am the Vice President of Business Development. I assist the team in San Diego, Neil Electric. I work for Mineral Enterprises, who's our corporate company here in LA. I'm just happy to be here, and I'll answer some questions when they come. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Joe Cole. I'm the Director of Estimating for Neil Electric. I started estimating projects at the airport 12 years ago, so we've had a lot of different types of work there.
Thank you for joining us tonight. So what type of projects have you done at the airport?
Yeah, I appreciate that. We've just finished up the airline support building with And we used a lot of different contractors with us on that one. We've also done a lot of the airport infrastructure upgrades. We've done the parking lot upgrades. We've worked on fire alarm upgrades. We've done airside improvements. We've done multiple retail and dining tenant improvements there and concession stands. We also have worked on the airline offices and the ticket counter upgrades. We are a ready service contractor for the airport, so we get involved in a lot of different types of projects. Most of them revolve around electrical, but some add a lot of different challenges to the projects.
Thank you, Joe. What are your subcontractor opportunities that you have had or you know that you're going to be having?
So we do a lot of different types of projects at the airport, but we especially need low voltage contractors. We don't do any teledata, audio visual, security, paging, or fire alarm in-house. We'll do the infrastructure for it and the pathways, but we always need to team up with someone for those types of, for any type of project that requires low voltage. Also, any project that has medium voltage on it, we'll do the infrastructure for that, but we still need to do terminations and testing on low voltage. Any project that requires excavation or saw cutting, removal and repair, any concrete or asphalt work. Also, in some design instances, we need engineering partners. We may need a welder on a project. So we're always looking for to team up with partners that, number one, can be pre-qualified with the airport as a local business enterprise, or SDVBEs or SPEs, or any SVBEs. We do have a pre-qualification. We have pre-qualification required for our company also, but we're always looking to partner up with these other enterprises.
You mentioned that you have a pre-qual for Neil Electric. How would somebody find where to go to go through the process of the pre-qual?
Sam, would you like to take that one?
Sure, thank you, Joe. Just contact myself or Joe Cole, and we'll give you the documents to fill out, but contact us directly. I think we want to start with pre-qualing with Neil Electric first, and then we want to make sure that if you want to, if it's a project at the airport, you want to pre-qual at the airport also. And as Vera said, to go to their website and get the SBE and DVBE if you're a DVB contractor and or an SBE contractor to register at the airport, because that's a requirement.
Thank you both. So remember to get your certification through us for the local certification, and then of course your SBD and through any agency. General services is also a good one, like Vera mentioned earlier. Does Neil have an active supplier diversity program?
Could answer that for you. First of all, thank you for having us here. We are very excited to share some of the things that we're doing, but yes, Neil is, as you know, a Latino-owned minority business enterprise, and we're also a local company. Our focus has always been to participate in our supply chain diversity. It's actually one of our missions coming from corporate. We believe as a diverse firm, it is our responsibility to continue our commitment to support the diverse, equity and inclusion initiatives. So I know they just mentioned to contact us either through Joe and Sam, and I'll go ahead and send some information on the chat. But again, we not only believe it's the thing to do as our founder and owner, had that same opportunity as being a minority business owner. We believe that it's not only just to say it, but to actually do it. And our record actually speaks for itself. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and send out some information on the chat of how to contact all of us. But yes, it is our mission. It's our corporate mission to have a supplier diversity program. And so we will continue to do that and partner with local businesses and with all the qualifications that are required from the airport.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Tell us about your community engagement efforts.
Thank you for asking. We are definitely very proud to talk about the community. It's not only our responsibility and part of our social responsibility to be involved in the community, but obviously, as Sam mentioned, we've been in the area for over 30 years and we have partnered with many nonprofits through key sponsorships, educational programs, and other initiatives. Just to name a few, we've partnered with the Alzheimer's in San Diego, United Way, Christmas in July, the Habitat for Humanity, Boys and Girls Club in San Diego, and the Central Black Chamber of Commerce. And that's only just to name a few. We believe giving back to the community is important and it's our corporate responsibility to give back. And we would be more than happy to support any of the initiatives the San Diego Airport has or any nonprofits that definitely want to partner with Neil.
Thank you, Sam, Joe, and Elizabeth for participating in tonight's event. I know this is actually your first time at Meet the Primes, and we hope to see you as a partner going forward. Christine, do we have any questions?
Yes. One person in the audience would like to know what is Neil Electric's records and achievements in terms of percent spent on projects in the allocation actual work to SBEs, WBEs, DBEs, MBEs, etc. And do you have a small business liaison or representative on your projects?
I can answer that. One of the largest projects we've done at the airport just recently, we worked with Sun Construction, and part of it was a design build project also, and part of our contract and requirement that we were supposed to provide a 37% requirement on SBE, DVBE, and we over exceeded that and finished the project at 42%. So on that project, we did very well. We tend to do that with most of the projects we work with as the requirements of the airport. So on this last project, we turned over 42% documented, and it was a requirement of the airport that it was documented through Sun back to the airport. So I thought we did a very good job on that.
Great job in exceeding your goal. And with the outreach of exceeding goals for the projects, do you have any types of outreach that you do for the community, or how would one be able to find out about all these goals that they can be a part of your team to achieve and exceed?
Well, a lot of times what we do too, because a lot of these projects are PLA and require union participation, we reach out to our union shop, which is the 569, and we ask them, first of all, who are the PLA union contractors that want to sign the PLA, and then we look at who are the SBEs, DVBEs in the industry, and WBEs, and all the inclusionary companies that are out there, and we try to roll them in to help them out and to bid with us.
That's so wonderful. Thank you for sharing your commitment and efforts in reaching out to the community and exceeding these goals for minority businesses. It looks like there are no other questions. I'll now turn it back to you, Maria. Thank you, Neil team.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Tim from the Jones Paint Group. Good evening, Tim, and please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Tim Fenlison, and I'm a project manager with the Jones Paint Group. And do you want me to talk about the company?
Yeah, sure. Why don't we go ahead and do that?
Okay. I've sat through a couple of these now. So I've been with the company 23 years, since 1998, and I thought that was a long time until I joined everyone else on this call, and I hear 31 years and 36 years, and that's a decade longer than me. So, but I've been with the company long enough to understand what we do. Jones Payne has offices in Boston, which is where our headquarters is. San Diego, obviously, which focuses on the quieter home program and the quieter non-residential program, which I'll talk about in a little while. We have an office in San Francisco, an office in Seattle, and an office in Whittier, California as well.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Thank you for joining us tonight. And then let's touch a little bit of what does the Jones Payne Group do as a consultant for the airport?
So I'm going to take a little bit of a different tack than everyone else, and our consultant team here in San Diego works for the Quieter Home program, as I said, and that includes the Quieter Non-Residential program. So I'm going to talk specifically about the program. We've been with the program. I was surprised to see Mike here because he was with the program before us, and we sort of took over from them. We help run the Quieter Home program by providing design services and construction administration services for the residential sound insulation program. And that program provides insulation in single-family homes and apartments and condominiums that are affected by airport noise from San Diego Airport. With the inclusion of the Quieter Non-Residential program, which started about 3 months ago and hasn't actually done any construction, but we've done 3 designs. That includes churches and community centers and schools and daycare centers and preschools. And it's pretty exciting for the program because it's not done everywhere within every program, and the local community and the local program manager have to approve that.
Great, thank you, Tim.
Yep.
And I know you guys, I think I've been with the airport for about 10, 12 years, and I think you guys were on board when I joined. So thank you for being.
We started the program in 2006.
Okay, yeah, so before I came along. So how does a contractor bid for work for the QHP projects?
So it's actually quite easy. When a project bids, it's advertised on Planet Bids. And if you sign up on Planet Bids, you can set it up to get notifications, or you can keep watching for each time. You can do a search for Quieter Home Program or QHP on Planet Bids. And that will tell the contractor and the subcontractors when a group is bidding, because they're bid about every 6 to 8 weeks, a new group is bid, and it's a group of homes which might be 50 single-family homes, or it might be 25 single-family homes and 3 apartment buildings with 10 units each, or it might be a church that's getting noise insulation, or it might be condominiums. Another way to do that is that the contractor or the subcontractor could get in touch with QHP through the Quieter Home program links on san.org, and they can find out who is bidding as a general contractor through that process, and they can contact those general contractors. And there are always opportunities for WBEs and SBEs and veteran-owned businesses and minority-owned businesses. And as Maria knows, there's also a big push to make sure that contractors can include apprenticeship programs if at all possible.
Yes, and that program is 100% federal funded, which means that we look for the support of the DBEs and the different trades that specific prime contractor would be looking for. So if you are a DBE and you're interested in getting involved, we encourage you to sign up in Planet Bids, or so you could see, like Tim says, there's a package that goes out every 6 to 8 weeks. What opportunities are there for subcontractors on the Quieter Home?
So as I said, there are always opportunities for WBEs and veteran-owned businesses and the like. So the program, in a nutshell, replaces doors and windows, or treats doors and windows, or any other openings in the house. And we provide a ventilation system. So anything related to those, which would include a mechanical system. Some homeowners have the option of getting an air conditioning system. Some get a ventilation system. Some choose to do neither and just do the replacement of windows and doors, but there are opportunities for all of those trades, as well as the mechanical services require sometimes electrical upgrades or electrical changes. So there are opportunities for electricians as well.
Thank you. I know that sometimes it seems it's easy process to just go in and exchange your windows and doors, but it's so fast paced, their schedule. So that's one of the things that you guys have to watch for. But yes, definitely we're looking for new contractors to come in and try to bid on this work and be successful, hopefully. What is the, go ahead.
Sorry,
Tim.
if I can, that's actually a good reminder. So this program, as it's federally managed by the FAA and it uses federal funds, there are a lot of requirements for people to make sure that they are qualified to do this work, because it's not just a replacement window, it's a specific product. And there are a lot of requirements for us to follow Buy American Act requirements and federal labor law requirements.
Correct. Can you give us a little bit of the history behind the QHP projects?
Sure. As I said, the program started in the early 2000s, and Jones Payne has been with the program since 2006. As was said a couple of times already, this is a program, it's a national program, it's a grant program that's managed by the FAA. And the funding for the program actually comes from ticket sales. So a certain percentage of every airline ticket that's sold goes into this big pot of money that's managed by the FAA, and it's doled out to programs that are approved by the residential sound installation program facilitators at the FAA. And a local airport or a community airport, or whoever wants to participate, needs to do a study. It's called a Part 150 study, and they have to prove that there's a need and that there are people that are available to manage the program locally. Our local team actually includes graduates from New School and UCSD, San Diego State, National University. So we're pretty proud of the involvement that we have with the community. And some people that are employed with our firm actually live in the areas that are affected by airport noise.
I know it's a long process also to get on that list if your home does fall into that geographic area.
Yeah, some people say I've been waiting for you 10 years and I got sick of waiting for the windows, but the program's a little bit more streamlined than it used to be. There are some things that the FAA decided were ancillary that we used to do. We used to do attic insulation, and we used to treat doggy doors and that kind of thing. And it's a lot more streamlined now. So they don't get as many options as they used to, but it still is very effective against noise, and it's great community outreach.
Thank you.
Yep.
What other areas of expertise does the Jones Payne Group have?
So the Jones Payne Group was actually started as Jones Payne Architect and Planners way back in 1984. And it was focused on noise mitigation, and the firm prides itself on making livable communities. So our big area of expertise is noise mitigation, and that's for civilian airports as well as military airports. And we've also treated for noise that's affected by mass transport, whether it's a commuter train or a local street level subway system or even port systems. We also do on-call architecture for schools and colleges, public facilities at the city and county levels. And we also specialize in information management, specifically focused on GIS and that sort of thing.
Thank you, Tim. Christine, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do have a question for Tim. One individual is curious and wants to know if there is a need for continuous noise monitoring solutions.
Good question. So the airport actually has noise monitoring solutions in place. I would not say don't ask the question, but you should get in touch with the people at the Quieter Home program because they run the noise program as well. I know there are at least 4 and possibly 6 aircraft noise monitors in neighborhoods that surround the airport, and there's an entire office that responds to noise complaints.
Well, that's really interesting and great to know that fact. And just out of curiosity, with the many years of different projects that have been completed and many historic contemporary homes, are there any interesting homes or properties that you want to share with us that might spark some interest?
Sure. So I failed to say that just earlier this year, we celebrated the 4,000th home that's been treated as part of the Quieter Home program from its inception. And that's a very big number when you figure the largest group that I think we've put out since I joined the program was 50 houses. So at 50 houses a time, that's 100 times doing it. And I think that's a pretty phenomenal number. One great part of the program that I love is I have a degree in architecture, and I like going into the smaller homes and seeing how we're improving the way that people live. And we get pretty intimate with the houses. You know, we're looking in their crawl spaces and in their attics, and we're opening up curtains so that we can see what windows look like, and everyone's always very appreciative. But we also get the opportunity to treat historic homes, and San Diego has a wonderful array of historic properties that are related not only to neighborhoods, but also for who owned the house or who lived in the house for an extended period of time and how they contributed to the community. So I kind of feel like I'm carrying on the work of those local heroes by keeping the houses intact and helping come up with a solution that helps them maintain their historic viability.
It's almost like you're helping their spirits live on. That's wonderful.
Kind of, yeah.
And we have another question on whether or not Jones Payne Group is interested in companies that would help subs qualify for the program and projects.
I would say I am probably speaking for Maria here. I think that we're always looking for people to participate in SBE and WEBE and apprenticeship qualifications. Jones Payne doesn't have any part in that, but if they contact me, I'll gladly put them in touch with the right people at QHP or the airport.
I think the question is more on maybe a third party or middleman type company that would be able to comb and groom and help the subs qualify. Would that be the same response you would say?
Yeah, I think it's actually, Maria, is that a you question or?
Yeah, so Christine, they're asking how to get involved. Is that what they're doing? How to get groomed to be part of the QHP?
Helping people qualify.
It's asking if Jones Payne is interested in working with a company or companies that would help subs qualify. So for subs,
yeah. So probably that's not something that the Jones Payne Group would do, but they could go ahead and attend some of our workshops or some of our training that we have that could go ahead and help them be able to bid on some of the work or be part of a prime as a sub. But that's how they could go ahead and be involved. You know, getting their OSHA cards, getting safety training, labor compliance, prevailing wage, and all that. So yes, it would be something that they would go through us. So maybe having them visit our small business page.
Okay, sounds great.
That probably justifies a clarification that Jones Payne is an architecture firm, and we provide design services and construction administration services to the airport, specifically for the Quieter Home program. And all of the advertising for bid and the hiring of contractors and anything to do with contracts is done by the airport itself.
Okay, I'll drop in the chat box our small business development landing page, sbd@san.org for everyone. It looks
Yeah,
like,
and sorry, Christine, maybe also put in our Planet Bids.
yes, that's included in the chat box already.
Okay,
In
perfect.
this conversation. So that's www.san.org/business. And as Tim mentioned, it's Planet Bids. That's the company that the portal is powered by, and that's the San Diego International Airport's vendor bid portal, where all opportunities are posted. We also extract the list of emails, and that's how you may have found about Meet the Primes and other exciting opportunities and workshops, events, etc.
And that's also our portal for the local certification.
That's right. Once you log in as a vendor, you'll go right inside and find the local business certification page to apply. And I've included the local business affidavit form in the chat box for everyone as well.
Great, thank you, Christine. Any other questions for Tim?
Not individually for just Tim, but there's a question for all panelists, but that can
Great,
be questions for just the Jones Payne Group.
thank you, Tim. And let's go ahead and now let's open it up for the Q&A, Christine. Thank you.
Great, and should we have all panelists turn on their cameras right now as well? Since this question is directed to all of them?
Of course, let's go ahead and have everybody on camera.
The question for all panelists is, for professional service firms, do we need to pre-qualify with your company to do business with you? If so, what is that process? Who would like to take that question first?
Well, I guess I can start. Vera, I don't know if you're still on the call, because this would be good for you and Steve, but yeah, the Turner has a pre-qualification program. It's a pretty simple program, but we do want you to pre-qualify before you come to work for us. And you can access that information through the Arrive website that Vera explained earlier in the presentation.
And on the AECOM side, this Warren Sprague, yes, AECOM requires all sub-consultants to be pre-qualified or subcontractors to be pre-qualified. It's done on a case-by-case basis. So if we get to a point where we're considering bringing the firm on, or people from the firm on, we would point you to the location in AECOM to get that done. But there's not a blanket place you can go and just start that process. So it's done again on a case-by-case basis as firms are brought on.
I think I'm sorry, Sam Passanisi with Neil Electric. I think I mentioned earlier, just contact myself, Sam Passanisi or Joe Cole at Neil Electric, and we'll put you in touch with our estimating coordinator, and we can get you the documents out. And it's a pretty simple process. We want to know about the company and just a couple of simple questions.
For CNS, we do not have a formal pre-qualification process as a professional services firm based on just meeting with the individuals and having those conversations for teaming opportunities.
Likewise for the Jones Payne Group.
Thank you all panelists for answering that question. And I will circle back to some questions that we didn't get to, since we have some time with the general Q&A for all panelists. And feel free, attendees, if you thought of any questions you want to ask, the time is now to enter that into the Q&A box. This question is for Team Arrive, and they would like to know if they will be able to receive the contact information for the PLA coordinator, or where they'd be able to find that contact.
Yeah, we can certainly provide that information. The initial program though is to go through the website and actually be subcontracted for a scope of work here. If you have any questions on the PLA in the meantime, we'll be happy to answer any questions. And Vera and Steve can do that. Lots of folks can do that. And PLA coordinator can as well, but her main function is to coordinate your involvement after you are contracted for a piece of the work. But there's a lot of folks that can answer any questions. And Vera and Steve are just two, but we've got lots of folks that can answer general questions about what the PLA is all about and how to work within it on the project.
If you can't sleep tonight, go to the website, register and read through it and write down your questions.
There you go, Vera.
Thank you for answering that question on PLA coordinator. We have an individual that was asking on what are focus areas for the airport and what are the airport's current needs so that this IT solution services small business provider can serve the agency's mission. And just as a heads up, we have our IT team. They will be having a presentation next week, and they're part of our Meet the Primes program. So do take a look at the schedule, and they will be presenting next week. If I believe it would be Tuesday. So definitely log in to hear about their opportunities, look at meet all the key stakeholders from their team. And that way you can see if there's a way for you to partner up with our IT team and agency. I believe this question may have been for Team Arrive, but if a company is a WBENC, DGS, clearinghouse, and certified LB by the City of LA, do you recommend them to apply for any more certifications? How can we navigate a company on that with different projects that you may be a part of?
One more time, Christine. At first I thought, are they talking about specifically the Arrive? Because if it's Arrive, then the checkoff list is the local business, the small business, and the service disabled, veteran-owned, or veteran-owned small. If it's for other Turner projects, then yes, I would recommend any of the underutilized business certifications. It depends on what you do. I think you mentioned WBE, so must be a WBE. So I think you've got it. It sounds to me like you have them all covered. Wonderful, outstanding.
Yes, outstanding with so many certifications. And just a little tip for the audience, whoever you're trying to partner up with, depending on the agency or entity that they have that contract with, you would need to look at that agency or entity's requirements, or if they have a goal for that project where the prime or joint venture is set. And so if you look at the definition of what is acceptable, then you'll be on board with lining yourself up for success to have that all in advance. So be proactive, do that research and finding out the qualifiable certifications that can help meet those goals for a project. But great question. We have a question regarding if we provide products instead of contractor work, do we need to follow PLA? And I imagine this might be directed to Arrive.
And the answer is, if you're just a supplier, you're not part of the PLA. This is for the building and trades craft. So the PLA is just focused on labor. So if you are a supplier, there's no PLA required.
We have a question on whether primes will be sending out requests for bids for equipment rentals such as mobile cranes and hoists? If so, how can one get on the bid list?
Vera, you want to take that again?
Of course. Gosh, pretty soon half of you are going to be able to give my speech for me, which I hope you do share with a friend. Again, so you want to go to the project website. So that's pretty clear. ArriveSDAA.com. Then you want to go to button number 3, opportunities, and it'll ask employment or subcontracting. You look at subcontracting, and then you get to register. Once you register, you're on the spreadsheet of interested subs and vendors and so forth. Our procurement team will take a look, and there you are. But if you want to go one step further, go into the deep end. Once you've registered, go ahead and come back into the Arrive website, click on login, and that login will give you all the information that you're looking for, including the bid package list. So you're welcome to review that bid package list as often as you'd like. I think it's updated maybe once a week. So set yourself an alarm and take a peek at Arrive. Thank you.
Great. And it looks like there needs to be some clarity regarding the LBE Local Business Enterprise certification. The individual asked, is LBE a must certification for the project for small businesses from other counties? So LBE, it has a specific definition, and one important thing is that you have to have a workplace within San Diego County. So if you do not have a workplace within San Diego County, that's strike one already and you wouldn't qualify. So definitely look at the local business affidavit that's in the chat box, the link to that, and take a look at the other requirements. But that's number one key thing, in that you've had a workplace within the county at least 6 months prior to the release of the solicitation or bid opportunity. So that's one important key criteria for the LBE certification.
And I will tag on to that it's not a requirement.
No, not a requirement.
But again, a big part of the project is hiring local businesses. So not a requirement.
If you're an SLBE and a SDBE certified by City of San Diego, I believe they meant SLBE, does that translate, or is it a new application for the airport? And to answer that, the airport launched our own LBE Local Business Enterprise certification. This was a request from our Airport Authority Board to have this so we can verify in-house and certify firms and keep that integrity to make sure our local business numbers have met that criteria and that we can verify on our own. So the City of San Diego is not reciprocal. There's no reciprocity to that. For all panelists, this attendee would like to know, what is your culture in paying small businesses on time? Is it paid when get paid? Or do you try to help small businesses by paying them earlier, even if you're not yet paid by your clients? Some companies do this. Is your company one of those? Who would like to go first for this or answer?
I'll start. We certainly identify with our small businesses and small contractors. Like most construction companies, we are not a bank, however, and so there are occurrences. There are times when, for various circumstances, we will pay a subcontractor before we've been paid, but it's very rare, and no one should count on it. It's a very unusual circumstance, and everybody needs to know that going into this program and be funded and have the cash flow and just the overall bank account that allows you to do work and then follow the normal construction process if you're in terms of payment. So I guess that's the short answer. It's certainly not a typical thing, and general contractors run on very small margins, and so there's just not the ability, at least for our company and this project, to consider doing that, except in some extreme situations.
Warren Sprague with AECom. I'll basically mirror what Dan just said. We work on a pay when paid, except in very rare circumstances when there's some extenuating reason to not do that, but it's not a general practice with the company.
Same practice for CNS that both Dan and Warren have described. That's pay when paid, except in very unique circumstances.
Same with Neo Electric. I've had a couple of small SBEs reach out, and it's faced up to me, and I've approved it a couple of times. But again, with Dan, I have to concur with Dan. We're not a bank, and we're trying to keep the cash flow going, and sometimes it's difficult. So, but we will look at different circumstances with the SBEs and the DBBEs to help them out.
Thank you all panelists for answering that question. And the airport does partner up with our awarded primes on projects to make sure that we can mentor and make sure that we can have any type of training involved, just so that all the subcontractors know the process. The administrative process is very, very long, and it could take some hand-holding, but that's where you anticipate what areas you can address so that the payments could be paid out on time and mitigate that. We have a question on if you are a DBE certified by San Francisco Municipal Transit Agency, is it recognized by San Diego Airport, or do we need to get certified again by San Diego Airport? And I'll go ahead and take that question. So the CCP, California Unified Certification Program, that is a string of all sorts of agencies within California, and we all certify all firms in the state of California. And so it's uniform, and the uniform part is that you only get certified within your home state by one agency. And you probably got certified with San Francisco Municipal Transit Agency because they may have been the closest to your principal place of business. So the short answer to that is no, we do not need you to get certified again. That is recognized across the whole state, and you're welcome to get certified out of state because you have your certification here. So the interstate process is definitely encouraged if you want to expand that reach for your business. Would a panelist be able to answer on what is your record in working with MBE, minority business enterprise firms?
Well, I don't know what you are referring to, but every project, of course, has its own scopes and its own underutilized businesses that work on the project. So every project has a different record. Every year we have a different record, but Turner as a whole aims to get 20% of their work throughout the year to underutilized businesses, which includes minorities. So underutilized businesses and minority businesses certainly are a big driver in what we're looking for and hoping to get to know those types of businesses. So again, I would recommend that you get, if you are the minority business person, get on our Arrive website and definitely get into our register and get that pre-qual filled out. And then for Turner Construction, once you get a pre-qualification approved, the entire Turner offices throughout the United States and international can find all our minority companies that have been pre-qualified to work for Turner. That's a position you want to be in. So absolutely, we are looking for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vera. We have a question on, does that pay when paid apply to commodities providers as well?
Typically, yes.
Okay, short answer, yes. Thank you. And I have a question on what standards will be followed when it comes to material testing and building inspection services? Caltrans, AASHTO?
I assume that is directed at the current work at the airport. We're using the city building codes. All the work that we're doing is reviewed through the plan check at the city planning department. So we're going through local building codes. It's just no different than anything else that's been being built in the city. We are following on our civil and roadway work. We're adhering to Caltrans standards. So if that's a civil question, that is a differentiation. All the building work is going, and all the work is going through city plan check, however.
Thank you, Dan, for providing that answer. It looks like that was the final answer or final question for the evening. We're approaching the top of the hour at 7, so this will give everyone some time back to their evening. Can we have all panelists turn on their cameras for the final slide? And Maria, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Christine. That was great. I want to thank everybody for your participation in our second virtual Meet the Primes. It's obviously not the same as we sit here in the Hollywood Squares, as Vera said. And hopefully by next year, we will be able to be in person. And we look forward to your participation. A special thank you to all our panelists and their team and our team member for helping us out this evening. And we hope that you enjoy, that you guys join us next week to hear about or hear from our San Diego departments. And as you can see, here is the schedule. We have Tuesday and Thursday as well, a couple of sessions where you will hear our see presentations from each of our departments. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Christine.
Thank
Have a
you.